In an interview with Bloomberg Television, United States Senator Tommy Tubberville, from Alabama, stated that the military is not an employer of equal opportunity. To answer a question about his opposition to the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Charles Q. Brown, must watch. Happen Just Now. Enjoy hearing your thoughts. Please leave comments. Thanks.
Well, the debate over defense funding has been bogged down because of the politics in the House right now. And of course, your blockade against military promotions in protest of the Pentagon abortion travel policy remains in place. You've decried what you've called a woke policy, a woke military, Senator, and you voted against the confirmation of General C.Q. Brown as the now chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Is the new chairman woke?
I think he's got some woke policies. I like CQ. I've had him in my office several times back when he was chief of the Air Force.
But you voted against him.
He's a good person.
In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Finally, some movement for military confirmations in the United States Senate after the Majority Leader Chuck Schumer was able to circumvent the hold Republican Senator Tommy Tubberville put on all military promotions for 8 months.
The motion to reconsider is made and laid upon the table.
Air Force General C.Q. Brown approved Wednesday by an overwhelming majority as the next chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the Pentagon's top military position.
If confirmed, I commit to provide the President and the Secretary of Defense my military advice, informed by the Joint Chiefs and our military leaders.
But Brown has been the only promotion so far, with a couple others expected today. More than 300 others are still waiting for their confirmation vote. Tubberville of Alabama has been blocking some military promotions since February over a Pentagon policy that allows out-of-state travel for abortions.
If the Pentagon lifts the policy, then I will lift my hold. It's easy as that. That's been my position from the very beginning.
Schumer using a procedural maneuver to begin advancing confirmations one by one that would normally occur in blocks.
Simply put, besides the most extreme elements of the Republican Party, no one thinks this is a good idea.
In recent months, the administration emphasizing the strain that the delay poses on military families, and the Secretary of the Navy telling CNN the vacancies are threatening America's national security.
I would have never imagined that actually one of our own senators would actually be aiding and abetting communist and other autocratic regimes around the world.
He's a good person. He believes in what he's doing. You have to believe in what you're doing. Now, he doesn't really have any authority other than giving advice to the president. He's a general, but he's not really over the Army, Air Force, Navy. He has to just give information and advice to the president. I think he'll do a good job, but I heard him say a few things that really didn't fit with me in terms of making our military better and better. You got to remember, we have a free country.
What was it, though, specifically, Senator?
Well, we have a free country. We have things that we need to do to make sure that we can uphold, and we can't do that without a great, hard, strong military. Now, I heard some things that he talked about race and things that he wanted to mix into the military. Let me tell you something. Our military is not an equal opportunity employer. We're looking for the best of best.
Again, Senator Tommy Tubberville is doubling down over his comments over white nationalism that he shared last night with our Caitlin Collins. Tubberville kept repeating that it's just an opinion that white nationalists are indeed racist.
But just to be clear, you agree that white nationalists should not be serving in the U.S. military. Is that what you're saying?
If people think that a white nationalist is a racist, I agree with that. I agree they should.
A white nationalist is someone who believes that the white race is superior to other races.
Well, that's some people's opinion. And I don't think,
That's not
a lot.
opinion.
Pardon?
What's your opinion?
My opinion of a white nationalist, if somebody wants to call him white nationalist, to me is an American.
CNN's Lauren Fox is on Capitol Hill with the very latest. Lauren, what are you hearing now?
Yeah, Tubberville just continues doubling down on his comments. Originally, he made these comments weeks ago, basically arguing that white nationalists weren't necessarily racist. And he was pressed repeatedly by our Caitlin Collins yesterday, and then pressed repeatedly by reporters again today. Here's what he said.
Explain why you continue to insist that white nationalists are American.
Listen, I'm totally against racism. if the Democrats want to say that white nationalists are racist, I'm totally against that too.
But that's not a Democratic definition. The definition of a white nationalist
Well,
is
that's your
someone...
definition. My definition
It is the
racism
definition.
bad.
The
Next
definition,
question.
the
Next
definition,
question.
the definition
Next
is that
question.
the
Next
belief
question.
that the white race is superior to all other
Racism's
races.
totally out of the question.
So do you
Next
believe that
question.
white nationalists are racist?
Yes, if that's what a racist is, yes. To do whatever. We're not looking for different groups, social justice groups. We don't want to single-handedly destroy our military from within. We all need to be one. It's like a football team I coach. You can't have different groups. Everybody's got to be together to win. There's no second place in war. And so I listen to all these generals and admirals, and we have some great ones. We have some great military people, but there's some in there that have a different agenda to make sure that they get their quotas in. And we're not a quota. This is a military that's...
But when you say race, Senator, can you tell us what you mean by? Are you talking about enhancing diversity at the Pentagon? What is it about race that bothers you about the new chairman of the Joint Chiefs?
Well, he came out and said we need certain groups, more pilots, certain groups to have an opportunity to be pilots. Listen, I want it to be on merit. I want our military to be the best. I want the best people. I don't care who they are, men, women. It doesn't make any difference. Catholics, Protestants. I want everybody to believe in the one goal that we have in this country for our military is to protect the taxpayers, to protect the United States of America. Don't give me this stuff about equal opportunity, because that's not what this military is about. Talk about making the best, training the best, and being the best of this world. Because if we're not, as I said earlier, there's no second place in war. And we live in a very dangerous place right now in terms of our foreign policy.
Which is why a lot of people I speak to at the DOD and the foreign policy apparatus say that what you're doing in terms of your blockade is actually hurting U.S. readiness. You've said on this program that you want Schumer to file cloture, meaning bring each individual nominee to the floor in itself. You talked about the Senate and the House dragging its feet when it comes to spending bills. Well, the research shows that if you were to have cloture on each and every individual nominee, that's 700 hours. That means you would have to work around the clock 24 hours for an entire month to get these military nominees through. If you know at the end of the day these individuals are going to get that vote, whether or not it's within one day or a month or so, why would you put these families, you're a self-described military brat, why would you put these families through that?
I just want to correct the record here. Senator Tubberville has been given multiple off-ramps. He was offered a vote on Senator Ernst's bill, which was far, much more overall encompassing. He has been given lots of opportunities, and he's simply refusing to lift a hold. For the first time in over 100 years, we do not have a commandant of the Marine Corps, someone who can have the full power and authority of a commandant. This is absolutely unacceptable. We have all of these officers and their families. My colleagues talk about and laud the family members for their service. We have family members who are being pulled out of schools, unable to start a new school term. We have spouses who cannot start a new job, who've lost their jobs. The entire military readiness is slowly grinding to a halt, and it is going to get worse every single day because Senator Tubberville has injected politics into this. And let me make it clear. DOD statute is very clear. The DOD cannot fund abortions, and the DOD is not funding abortions. The DOD is simply providing the ability for service members to travel to a different state from the one in which they are assigned in order to receive reproductive health care. The DOD is not paying for those abortions. They're simply saying if you cannot get the reproductive health care you need, whether that is an abortion or IVF or an IUD or whatever that is, then you should be able to travel someplace for that. And you know who gets hurt the most on this? Our lowest ranking. It is the youngest women in the military. It is the spouses of the youngest men in the military who have to ask for a pass from their sergeants to leave their duty station so that they can go take care of their health care needs. And what we are telling them, what Senator Tubberville is telling them is, I don't care about you. Thank you for your service, but you cannot take care of your own health care or your spouse's health care. And to simply put this as this is a political thing and this is about the military providing abortion is absolutely categorically untrue because the military is not providing abortions in this instance. Now, let me also be clear that our men and women in uniform face so many hardships. They should be able to take care of themselves and their family members. Bottom line. And if there's anybody that's injecting politics into this, it's Senator Tubberville, who's fundraising. He's fundraising off of his hold on the military leadership that is affecting the national security of this country. If he truly cared about this, he wouldn't be fundraising off of it.
Well, again, we have to pay the price to make our country the best. And as you said, there's nobody up here more military than I am. I believe in this country, and I want a strong, strong military. The problem that we're having right now is with these nominations is Chuck Schumer could have started bringing them on board 7 months ago. And what do? We just drug our feet. He thought I'd give up and say, no, I'll just let you do them all at one time. I'm not doing that. And I told him that at the very beginning. Now, I was the one that did the 3 last week. I forced his hand to make him do the 3 nominations last week because I filed a petition to do cloture myself. He didn't want me to do it, so he jumped in front of me so I wouldn't make him look bad. He knows how to get this done. I gave back hours, and you're supposed to have 30 hours between closure. I gave back 28 hours and only did 2 hours per nomination. I want to make sure that we have a strong military. But let me tell you, if readiness was a problem right now, I would not be doing this. I've talked to admirals and generals in the field as we speak. There's no job that's not being done. Everything is going forward. People are working very hard. We have a strong military, but we're going to do it the right way. And again, I've had the Secretary of Air Force, Army, and Navy come after me, pretty much call me a terrorist and a communist. Let me tell you something. Those people work for me.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Happen Just Now for more content about accountability on our public officials and policies and procedures.